Okay, you guys, I wanted to share some information with you on my test that I was doing outside with the Daisy 880. And I was just pumping it one time. And if you look up here, it says 5 clicks from maxing out the turret. That's my elevation. That's only a 1/4 inch value at 25 yards, so I decided not to max my turret out all the way. So I always leave it a few clicks from being maxed out, just for safety reasons for the scope, not torquing on it too much and stuff like that. Although my Hawk 2-7x32 scope will probably allow me to do it, I just don't do it anyway. I always stay away from maxing out the turret. Okay, so we got one pump, and I'm going to read off some of these pellets for you. And anytime you see an X mark here, it means that it did not make it to 25 yards. Right here, anything that says X, if you look at this, this means 25 yards right here. The other thing I wanted to tell you is my scope height is about 1.5 inches because it's an offset type UTG mount, and the scope is a 2-7x32. It's a Hawk mil-dot reticle. So what I did is I started off with this 5.25 grain wad cutter. This is H&N pellet. Them competition ones, them real light ones. And you can see that where it says 0 right here, that's the velocity I took at muzzle. And then this is the velocity I took at 15 yards. And then this is the velocity I took at 25 yards. So I'm going to tell you what these pellets are, so you can screen snap this. If you have a screenshot program, you can just snap a picture of this so you have it for your records. This ain't going to be exactly like your rifle, but at least it'll give you some idea of what these pellets are going to do with just one pump. So anyway, we got the competition H&N wad cutter right here. That's an alloy pellet. That's 5.25 grains. WC stands for wad cutter. The next one here, we got the, I think that's the basic, the RWS basic 7 grain. And then this is the finale match, 7.56. This is the R10, the 8.2 grain one. This here is the Daisy match ones, the ones that have a coating on the outside. I think it's a tin coating or something like that. And then this one is the RWS Super Mag. And then this one's the Winchester 9.7 wad cutter. And as you can see, the 8.4 grain, this is kind of a tight pellet, this Daisy one, so that's why I didn't make it. The 9.3 didn't make it with one pump. The 9.7 didn't make it with one pump. Now let's go off to round nose. So I'm going to pull this down right here. Once again, when you get to 25 yards, if you see an X, it means that it didn't make it. And so once again, muzzle velocity, velocity at 15 yards, velocity at 25 yards. And this velocity, I'm pretty sure I ran it over the Crony at 15, and then I think I took the ballistic coefficient to fill in the 25, because I don't know if I shot over at 25 yards or not, but I guess it doesn't matter, just as long as I show you what pellets made it 25 yards and which ones didn't. So anyway, we got the round nose. This is the H&N Trophy Field Target 5.56. That's an alloy pellet. H&N, I think that's the Barracuda, the 6.48 grain. 7.33 grain Falcon. 8.44 grain Air Arms. 8.5 H&N Sniper. Sniper mediums, I think they call them. This one here, 8.64 grain. This was a Field Target Trophy. This one here was an Air Arms Heavy. This one here is the JSB Monster. This one here was H&N Sniper, 15.1 grain. Notice at one pump that the Monster and the Sniper pellet, the very, very heavy pellets, they still made it 15 yards. They didn't make it 25, but there's no telling if it's going to make it 20. I would have to do a test. So, but not only did I fill in, you know, the velocity at 25 yards, but some made it actually to 30 yards, believe it or not, even though I didn't put 30 yards on here for velocity. So here's what I wrote down. For 30 yards, wad cutters, 5.25 grain. Okay, so that would be, this would be the only wad cutter that made it right up here. Let's see if I can show you. Okay, that wad cutter made it 30 yards. That's a H&N 5.25 grain competition. So that's the only wad cutter that made it 30 yards. Round nose, the 5.56 through 7.33 round nose made it. So that would be your field target trophy alloy pellet, this one right here. And your air arms, 7.33 grain, made it 30 yards. The reason why this one didn't make it 30 yards is because it's kind of tight in the bore, or it's just the way it flies. But this one here made it 30 yards. The 7.33 grain Falcon air arms pellet. And you can also get these in JSB 7.33 grain round nose. And then, of course, you guys know the ones that made it to 25 yards. Any wad cutter that was 5.25 grain to 8.2. Any round nose that was 5.56 to 10.34. So, and that was one of the amazing things, is that the air arms heavy right here, which does really good in a lot of low velocity air rifles. Because it doesn't fit real snug like the Barracuda does. It's kind of a loose fit, so it makes it fast for its heavy weight. But I was amazed I got that out to 25 yards. Now my aim point at 25 yards was pretty much just a pop can, believe it or not. So I took a pop can and I shot the pop can at 25 yards, and then I wanted to see if I could take some 30-yard shots, and I was successful with a few pellets. Then I had paper behind the pop can too, just to make sure, you know, if I missed the pop can, that I would see it on paper that I was successful getting the pellet out to 30 yards. So basically, what you guys are looking at with your scope is the Daisy 880 with one pump can make it out to 30 yards with some pellets. And BBs, I'm pretty sure they'll make it probably out to that distance also. Although I haven't tried it yet. I've tried it with the Daisy 840, and that's a one-pump BB gun. But I haven't tried it with the Daisy 880 because I only use the Daisy 880 with pellets, because it's already got a shallow rifled barrel to begin with. So I don't run any steel through that. But what I did do before I did this test is I made sure that I oiled the pad, the pumping pad on the Daisy 880, so that way it was ready to go to do this test here. Especially when I had to run them over the Crony to find out what the speed was. So anyway, there's some valuable data for you guys if you're crazy about one pump. This is what only what one pump will do. Imagine what 10 pumps will do. So you'll get some really good charts probably with 10 pumps and probably out to 100 yards. But haven't tried it yet. Don't have the room where I'm living here. So that'll be another day. I'll have to try to do that sometime. Get out in the field. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video on the Daisy 880 what it'll do with one pump for pellets. So thank you very much for watching, you guys.